Hello and welcome to Get to Know Them podcast. This is a podcast in which I'm gonna talk with some of the world's highest performers in order to learn more about them. I'm your host, Cameron Shurigoy. I hope you enjoy. Hello, who do we get to know today?
Hi, my name is Valentino Agnelli, and I'm from Argentina.
Hello, Valentino. Who are you and what do you do?
I'm a professional triathlete from Argentina. I'm currently in Spain training for my upcoming races, but I'm based in Boulder, Colorado. And yeah, I'm training now in Europe, preparing the next two middle distance races, which are going to be Estonia 70.3, which is European Championships, and then ZLMZ, which is in Austria the following weekend, which is also a Pro Series half Ironman.
That's very interesting. Are you focusing specifically on Ironman Professional Series races?
Not quite. Honestly, this is my second year as a professional. I'm 21 years old, so I started racing professional in 2022. Before that, I was a junior elite. I grew up basically doing triathlon because of my dad. He did Ironmans and half Ironmans, so I grew up basically watching him in every race. And I knew I wanted to do triathlon as I got older. I remember watching Kona in 2016 when Jan won for his first or second for his second time, and I told my dad that that's what I wanted to do, and I've tried to pursue it ever since. Um, so yeah, right now I'm actually like switching a little bit in between short distance ITU racing and 70.3 racing. I have the goal of qualifying for 2028 Olympic Games in LA. But I also want to keep in the loop all the 70.3 races, potentially race 70.3 World Championships whenever I could qualify. And also I have in my eyes the T100 for the future. So yeah, that's basically a little bit of what my eyes are on for the next couple of years. And
You said so many interesting things, and I have so many questions now. You are still so very young, but you said that you started doing triathlon very early. So you're kind of like a young veteran, I would say.
yeah, you
Tell
could
me,
say so.
tell me, which races do you prefer the most? Short course or let's say this middle distance?
Oh, that's a hard question. I honestly prefer whatever race is more challenging. So I like Olympic distance and half Ironman better than sprint distance. I still haven't completely gotten the love for the sprint. I feel that it's too short, and I can't get it. I'm just warming up at 5K. So I still thankfully the Olympics is an Olympic distance and not a sprint. So yeah, I think definitely between the Olympic distance and the half Ironman is my favorite. But I do have my eyes on full distance. Like my main life goal is attempting to win Kona. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do since I was a kid. But I know that's going to come after the Olympics. So for now, just ITU and half distances.
You mentioned Olympics already a couple of times, and I'm wondering, did you try to qualify for Paris this year, or was the goal always LA 2028?
No, I didn't do an Olympic cycle like since basically Paris was 2024, and I only started in 2022 racing ITU, or maybe half of 2021. I don't recall. It was too Yeah, it was too hard for me to qualify, and also my running is my weakness right now, and the level of the running is very high. So I'm still starting to develop my run. I know I can swim and bike with the best in the world, but I still haven't gotten my run to where it needs to be. So that's probably my main focus in the next 4 years time. And after I finish this year, I will start the Olympic cycle of 4 years for LA.
And how do you plan to balance the Olympic cycle with middle distance racing?
I think I'm gonna target the middle distance races more towards the end and beginning of the years. So basically more of like on my off season kind of thing. So more towards November, December, January, February, March, and in the middle of the year, I will do ITU, unless there's a possibility that I could say like, okay, maybe let's. It's smart to do this race as a training session, but most likely, it's going to be the main focus at ITU, and then just whichever 70.3 I do is either to try and perform and go get a solid result, and or get a slot for World Championships or something like this. But most likely, it's not going to be in full preparation like I'm doing now.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And you mentioned at the beginning that you're getting ready now for the European Championships in Tallinn. I'm wondering now, you're still very young, but what do you think has been the biggest success so far in your life?
Uh, I What a hard question. The biggest success in my life. Um, well, I think just in life in general, it's the that I always like went for what I wanted with no fear, or maybe with fear, but I did it anyway. And for the main reason was chasing pro triathlon. I guess I could have yeah, stayed home and just went to college and gotten a job, and I never could have known like what was possible. And I have big goals. And yeah, I think that's my biggest I guess, yeah, my greatest achievement was to chase my dreams, I'd say. And in sport, at least right now, my best result is a sixth place in the Tauranga Half Ironman, which I was second out of the swim when we had a big gap with Javier Gomez, like a 2.5 or 3 minute lead on everyone else. And then this was my third half Ironman, and yeah, I was off the front with him, and then he had a mechanical, so I ended up leading the race for a large amount of time, which was surprising. Like the Tauranga race in New Zealand, this is like very important race for all the Kiwis. So all the Kiwis turn up in the best shape possible, because it's where they make their money and where they make their sponsors. So it's basically like a battle for the win for all the Kiwis, and there was high level. So I didn't expect to be leading the race, but yeah, I ended up in the front. And then I got caught by Mike Phillips at like maybe 30 or 40K, and I rode with him for a bit, but he was riding very strong, and I had to drop off the pace. So I came in transition in third place. Jack Moody, that is a very good runner. He caught me at the end, and I came into transition with him, and I ran quite a good a while in third place, and I was trying to hold on for the podium. But yeah, I kind of faded towards the end. I ended up with sixth place, but yeah, I think that was in results wise, that's my best race so far.
Yeah, and all the names you mentioned are very well known in the triathlon space, and these
Yeah,
are well-renowned athletes. So getting a sixth place in a field like that is not an easy achievement.
yeah,
Coming back to becoming a professional triathlete, you said that your biggest success was chasing your dreams. Was
yeah.
it a hard decision for you to decide to go professional, or was there ever any doubt in going professional, or did you know for a long time and decided easily and instantly that you want to and are going to become a professional?
Well, I mean, I always like growing up, as I said before, I always did many sports. I played living in Argentina. I played rugby. I played soccer. Yeah, skiing. Like everything that has to do with the outdoors. My family and I did. So I'm very thankful for that, because I always was an active kid. I never liked staying inside. Like I would like biking from 2 years old with yeah, under the rain. That was my favorite thing to do. So from when I was young, it was like my like sport was like in I guess in my veins since I was young. And then yeah, I think it wasn't a hard decision, but it was just like an eye-opening decision that I had to make, because I knew I wanted to be professional in something going around sport. So at the time, I don't know, at maybe 9 years old, it was my first triathlon. I still, like I told you, my family moved to the United States when I was 9 years old. We moved from Argentina to Miami when I was nine. So from there, I left basically all the other sports and just focus on soccer. And soccer got really competitive. I played in a club, and I also played in school with the school team. So I was playing basically at two teams. And yeah, I after a couple years after that, I did my first triathlon when I was 9. Then the second triathlon I did was when I was 13. And this was I won my age group 13 to 15 with like training only a week, and my dad got me a road bike and he's like, "Hey, I signed you up for a triathlon again. Like, let's do it." And I was like, "Yeah," and I won my age group. So like we couldn't really believe it. Like I hadn't even trained for the race and I was first place. So I kind of that opened our eyes and was like, okay, like so I started doing all the local races while I still played a like competitive soccer. I even had like trips where we went out of the state with a soccer team. And then at 14 years old was when I made the decision of leaving everything else. Leaving soccer and everything else just to focus on triathlon. And from 14 to basically 17 years old, I trained in Miami with my first coach was Manuel Huerta. He went to London Olympics and to Rio Olympics. And yeah, Manny and I trained together from basically 14 years old to 17 years old. I qualified for my first junior world championships in 2019. That was in Lausanne in Switzerland. And basically, I kind of went off topic a little bit, but to answer your question, I guess like when I after being a junior elite, when I turned 18 years old and decided to make the biggest move of leaving Miami to move to Boulder to pursue triathlon, was when I was like, okay, this is going serious. Like I'm making this call. I think it's the best one if I want to be a pro. This is where the pro athletes are, and I moved to Boulder and yeah, started chasing the dream. Yeah, I I started coaching with Armando Galarraga. He's from New Zealand. He's from Venezuela, but he lives in New Zealand. He's married to Jo Lon. She's a 7-time Ironman New Zealand champion, and she was 2 times fourth in Kona. Armando was Craig Alexander's coach when Crowe won Kona 3 times. So yeah, I coached with him for basically 5 years, as well as training with Manny. Manny was basically my domestic and training partner and also coach, but the workouts was sent by Armando. And after a lot of years of training by Armando, he's a long distance coach, so the ITU is like different training. So I think I was doing a little bit of I wasn't really understanding the training that I was doing or how it worked, or I was just doing what was there. And sometimes maybe I don't know, easy sessions were done harder, or harder sessions were not done because I was tired. So I slowly started like understanding more. And when I moved to Boulder, I switched coaches because Armando lives in New Zealand and I wanted to train with a squad. So I started training with Ian O'Brien. I don't know if you heard him mention. He used to be Taylor Nibb's coach. So I trained with Ian for 1 year, and the group and training with the group gave me a lot of discipline. And after a year, I realized that didn't really work for me because it didn't help me get out the door, and it did help me just get it done when the days that you don't want to, just because you have to show up. But it also made me realize that people like overtrain a lot, and they just race in training, and that's why it's a hard one because I'm now coached by Tyler Butterfield. He's from Bermuda. He was fifth and seventh in Kona, and he went to two Olympics as well, Athens and London. And he's basically the coach that, and also was training partner of mine coming into my second 70.3 in Taupo in December of last year, which I came 13th. And yeah, I really like coaching with Tyler just because he knows me a lot. We talk a lot about how to approach the training, to approach the goals of races. And yeah, I think I've gotten mature over time just because of trial and error. Like I made a lot of mistakes, and I still do, but I just try to learn from them and overcome them and just keep moving forward.
Yeah, that's nice. Obviously, it's even nicer if you learn from other people's mistakes, not your own.
Yeah,
But I guess we all have to make some mistakes to learn from them and hopefully get better in the future.
yeah.
And what was it, or what is it like being a professional? Because we know that triathlon is not the biggest sport in the world. There is not so much money in it. And even renowned professionals, and especially young up and coming professionals, struggle a lot with money, sponsorships, and such. How were you, and are you still dealing with this side?
Yeah, this is a very hard topic because everyone is in a different situation. Like you said at the beginning, you don't know a lot of Argentinian triathletes, and there's a lot. They just don't have the possibility to travel around the world in the races. So they all basically race in Argentina. But honestly, there is very good level. There's some good kids. There's some good upcoming kids. They don't have the funding. Personally, in Argentina, they don't even from the federation. It's because it's not, yeah, it's not a lot of money in the country right now. So you don't see a lot of athletes. And since I had the chance, lucky enough to leave Argentina when I was young, yeah, parents at the beginning helping me, and I lived a different life, growing up as a kid in the United States. So that gave me the opportunity to be able to pursue the dream and race around the world. And yeah.
Okay, so would you say that you're happy with your position now in terms of, like I said before, support you're getting and sponsorships and such?
Um, I right now I'm actually in a period of my life during my sporting career. I mean, everything is growing, everything is just starting, everything is just starting, and I am trying to make a name for myself. This is why I'm picking hard races to race because I want to test myself against the best in the world to put my name out there. Um, and people to know that okay, Valentino is going to race against Lionel Sanders or Gustav Iden or whoever it is. Um, so the sponsor thing is very hard because I haven't, my only sponsor right now is Touch PH, which is an upcoming brand. Um, is currently based in Miami, and it's a sport clothing brand that is just very small, that they're making ways and slowly to grow. But I'm definitely trying to grow my not only my brand and myself as an athlete, but also uh, I'm trying to get sponsors, get a little more funding from where I can. At least anything helps. Like even yeah, it's hard right now because I don't have great results, so I can't really ask for money or But so at least I don't know, like having a bike sponsor would be amazing, or having a cycling like brand or uh, wetsuits or stuff like this saves you a lot of money. So maybe it's not money now what I'm looking for. I'm looking for sponsors that could provide me the equipment that I use to race, and yeah,
Yeah, I understand that. And I wish you all the best in your future to get
thanks.
a lot of good results and all that you just mentioned after it. Tell me, in triathlon and in life in general, we obviously deal with a lot of struggles. What keeps you going when the things get hard for you?
I think when things get hard, what I'm living by is just trying to keep myself, um, try to keep my mind where my goals are. So just also, it's not. So I have a quote that I live by, and it's every move is about the move, the goal. So this quote basically means that you have to enjoy the process, and it's not all the gold medals, not all the ones, but you do keep that in the back of your mind because that's what you want. But I'll do my best to, like, if my 100%, if I know I get my 100% and I didn't win Kona, I'll be like happy with myself because I know I gave it 100%. But if I gave me 8% and I don't win Kona, then in my mind I'm gonna be like, wow, like what could have happened if that extra 2% was there? Like maybe I could have won. So I think also it always, like, in the back of my mind is like, okay, like you know where you want to be, like you belong here. This is what you want. When days get hard, when training gets lonely, when it gets cold. This morning I woke up tired. My legs hurt from yesterday's session, and right now I'm living alone in Spain. It was raining. I got out of bed. and my home screen in my phone is a picture of Foley winning 73 Boulder. And I woke up and I saw him and I got right out of bed and I was like, that's my motivation. Like that's where I want to be. Like that's who I want to be. And I want to do my run workout, So it's all like little that I do. Yeah, that sometimes you don't need to be motivated to do it. You just got to do it. The main thing is that was like I was juggling with when I was a bit younger was consistency. I could train really well, but then I would do fun stuff with my friends or do this or do that, and then race not properly. And that I'm fully invested in triathlon. I'm resting, recovering, going to bed early, fuel my body properly. Because everyone else is optimizing to the best to the very least. So that's racing against. You're racing against someone that all they do is 24/7 think triathlon, breathe triathlon, live triathlon. So that's what you have to become if you want to be the best in the world.
Yeah, that's a great way of thinking. Very mature, very sound. I have basically nothing to add. This is champions mentality, at least when we listen to the videos or talks or something. This is what all the champions keep reiterating. So that's great that you came to this realization and to this thinking at such a young age. And I believe it's gonna carry you forward a long way. But let's switch a bit to a bit more general or personal questions. I'm wondering, what's one thing that you wanted to do for a long time but just haven't done it yet?
Oh, I like crazy. So like I think like I've been wanting for a long time is a 24-hour ride. Like I sit on my mountain bike in the middle of the mountains, like from the South Patagonia area. I usually go there during December, which is the there. I've been wanting to do that for a while. It's 24 hours of by myself of mountain biking and just climbing and climbing and climbing. I think that's something I've been in my mind that I do because it will leave me tired for a lot of days during the season. But something crazy like this, or like alpinism a lot. Thought about uh, like mountain stuff like this. It's just like I told you, like nowadays it's very hard. Like you have to just focus on triathlon because yeah, like if you see the best guys in the world, they're not going around mountains, like they're focusing on how to get the run better, the bike or the swim better. So as much as I want to do it and enjoy it, I think I'll leave that to after I some of my goals.
Okay, that's nice. Tell me, if you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
I think I'm more person than salty. Um, wow, these are hard questions, simple but hard questions. I think I would eat a chocolate croissant with like a coffee or something.
Okay, that's an interesting choice, especially let's say for lunch, but okay. Is that also your guilty pleasure, or you have any other guilty pleasures?
Yeah, I guess I treat myself with a croissant once in a while. I mean, I guess a lot like nowadays a lot of people trying new things or things, but like I don't know, they say this is important, so like you could eat whatever you want, and in theory you can train, anywhere from 25 to 35 hours a week. So we basically can't eat everything we want. I could eat McDonald's if I wanted to every day, and I wouldn't get or anything like this. But I feel at least I feel better when I don't when I put my body like under like cleaner foods and anything like this. But of course, a croissant is not it's not gonna kill you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also not a guilty pleasure because, like I said, we train so much that you don't have to feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
What's one thing that annoys you or makes you angry?
The like stuff being disorganized. Like I'm really a perfectionist with the way things are around the house or my bike or yeah, I'm like a next level OCD. I think that's like even the fridge. everything has to be lined up perfectly. Yeah, I think if someone's messy and everything's messy, like I can't live with that.
So this also means that when you come to the end of the run and it's 9.9 kilometers, then it's not the end of the run. You have to do those 100 meters more.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay. I think many people are gonna resonate with this.
Yeah.
If you could enforce one rule for the entire world, which one would it be?
Um, I'd say like aggression is prohibited. Like you can't be, you like it's not allowed. It shouldn't be allowed.
Okay.
Fighting
That
shouldn't be allowed. At least like, like not taking out the sport fighting or anything like this, but aggression in general, like wars and all that stuff.
okay, that's a nice rule, and I totally agree with it. You mentioned something about your future goals before, but what do you say is your ultimate goal that you want to achieve?
Kona. Yeah. Kona.
And
100%.
if we talk about life in general, not just sports, what do you want to achieve, let's say, in the future?
I think a very broad way of saying it is just being content with the life I made and the choice I made, being happy with the end result. Whenever I want to say, okay, I retire and I don't want anything for my life anymore, like, well, I think I always want to like get better at what I do or improve or take a next step. But yeah, I think I want to get old and look back and be like, wow, like I did everything I wanted, or at least I tried.
Yeah, that's a nice way of thinking. And I think, like I mentioned before, it's gonna get you a long way, especially given how young you are and how far you've already come. I think this is a nice way to steer this conversation towards the end. And at the end, I let my guest leave a question for the next guest that is coming on the show. My previous guest was Thomas Inigo. He is also an up and coming professional triathlete from the US. And he wants to know, if you had the ability to build your dream bike, what bike would it be and which color would you paint it?
Okay, TT bike or road bike?
Let's say both.
Okay, I think with TT bike, I would do a all black, like all matte black, Pinarello, um, with custom extensions, like 3D printed carbon fiber custom extensions that are all one piece. Um, Ceramic bottom bracket, probably a big 60 tooth chain ring. Um, yeah, all ceramic bolts. Black chain ring with black cassette and sorry, a black chain ring with gold chain and gold cassette, and the whole bike black.
Okay, and the road bike?
I very like the Canyon road bike. I think I would do that all white, um, with C60 wheels, and yeah, I think I like the new Dura Stroll Speed. Yeah, I think all white and the details either silver or gold.
Okay, that's a very nice answer. And that's also a shout out to Canyon and Pinarello. If anyone from these brands is listening, you know that Valentino wants you, and you feel free to reach out to him and get a
Yeah.
deal done. So tell me, what is your question for the next guest that is coming on the show?
Okay. I would ask if you had to pick swim, bike, or run to do for 24 hours, what would it be?
Okay, that's a very interesting question, and I'm looking forward to hearing the answer. It was really awesome to talk to you, Valentino. Uh, it
Like, of
was a
course.
real, it was a real pleasure. You said a lot of interesting things. You sound very mature, very experienced, even though your age suggests otherwise. And now I'm wondering if people want to learn more about you, support you, follow your journey, where can they find you?
Well, mainly my Instagram account, I would say. And under my Instagram account, I have my personal website, and my coaching website. I am doing some personal one-on-one coaching with a couple of athletes. So yeah, I have both of my links to my websites under my bio in my Instagram account.
Okay, I'm gonna link them in the show notes so people will have no trouble finding them. But like I said, Valentino, thank you very much for your time, for talking with me, and I hope that you get a lot of new followers, new supporters, and I wish you all the best in life
Thank you
and
so
in
much.
triathlon. Chasing the Los Angeles dreams. Hope we see you in the next Olympics.
Yeah, thanks again, and thank you for having me. It was a pleasure as well to meet you and to share a little bit about me. And yeah, hope you everyone that's watching can enjoy my journey as well.